Hello guys, good afternoon. In this video I'm gonna show you how to make a friction sheath to use your knife as a neck knife, and instead of Kydex using a piece of PVC pipe. Okay, so what I've done is I have cut a piece of PVC pipe. I don't know how thick this is. I have two pieces of this foamy plastic material, two strips. I need a board and something heavy to put on top of it. In this case I'm using a forklift. Couple tons works better. And here's the knife. I made this knife out of an old hacksaw. Excellent quality steel, really lightweight, really strong. It takes a great edge. Now the first thing that I have to do is I have to heat the PVC with this heat gun. You can use a fire, or I don't know what other means. Maybe an iron with a piece of fabric so you won't melt the plastic. But in this case I have the convenience of having a heat gun. So I'm going to start heating this up until it becomes flat and malleable. You have to be quick. You place the knife, center it, dale Abelardo, yo te digo, reversa, dale, viene, ahí. And you leave it like that for a couple of minutes so that the plastic cools off and takes the shape of the knife. Let's see the product. Okay. Well, it turns out that the first try I used a really thick tube or pipe, which was this one, and I noticed that it didn't form so well. So I found this other pipe which is thinner and works much better, which is the pipe that I used for my other knives. In this one you can actually see the shape of the knife being molded by pressure and heat. It's a much better fit for a friction sheath. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the rivets, cut the outline, and continue. So the first two rivets are gonna be the bottom ones. The rivet here. You got to set the first rivet. There you go. So this is a much better outline. I used this ruler here to make everything squared. I'm a little crooked at the top of the lanyard holes, but that's okay. This was all messed up right here. This is way better. So here we go. Okay, so what I'm doing now is just finishing up the sanding part, and this is basically to smoothen out all the edges, take away any blurs, plastic there might be, and also to make sure that the surface is a little bit rough so that the paint will stick to the surface better. What I'm gonna do, very professionally clean the sheath, and I want to paint also the handle of the knife to protect it from rust. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the sheath and the knife together. Alright? So I take my paint, just regular acrylic paint, black paint, and spray it, first coating. Yes, now I'm gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. You can put as many coats as you want. The more coats the better, obviously, because it'll be more protected and it'll last longer. Because the sheath is against your skin most of the time and it rubs against it, and you know, the thicker the paint, the better. Okay, so now that the paint job is finished and everything is really dry, so now it's protected from rust and wear. But what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna wrap some paracord on the handle to give it a much better grip, and also in case of an emergency you have a very usable piece of cordage. So here's the sheath, how it turned out. As you can see, I put an extra couple of rivets to make more of a friction fit right here. It was a little bit loose and this took care of that. Now it snaps in place and it's easy to get out. I also put a neck lanyard with another piece of paracord with slip knots, so yeah, that you can adjust it to the length that you want. And also in case of an emergency, again, you have a very usable piece of cordage. Now this is a topic of some debate. Some people say that you shouldn't do this because in case of a street fight or something, someone can grab you like this and choke you. You know, in case you get in a fight in the street, this is dangerous. So another recommendation would be to use the chain on the soldier military dog tags. That chain with the little beads, you know, metal beads. It's strong enough to pull the knife out of the sheath, but it's not as strong as to choke you. Someone grabs you with that and pulls it, it will snap. Okay, so about the handle. The first thing that you gotta do, well, that I do, is I put a loop at one end, as you can see here. A simple loop. And I place the loop just at the end of the handle and double that length to a little bit higher than you want the handle to go, like right here, just a little bit longer than that, and then you start wrapping it around like so. Okay, be sure to tie everything up real tight. Continue wrapping all the way up. Be careful not to cut your palm, okay? You have to be really careful with that. Or, okay, now at the end, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your end tag of the cordage. You're gonna put it through the loop, holding everything in place so it won't get loose. Tight it, and then here comes the trick. To lock this knot, what you do is you simply pull on this end right here carefully. Now the knot is locked. You check if everything is right. Maybe this is a little too long. I just undo the knot and redo it closer to the handle if I want to. You can pull this so hard that the loop would actually go inside the handle if you want. I'm not really interested in doing that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut here and then burn the end and glue it together. But first I want to check if the handle fits with the sheath. It fits perfect. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this, leave a little room in order to burn the end. A little piece right here, as you can see. And then use your lighter and melt that down. Once it's starting to melt, then you simply push it and press it. See, now it's glued. If you want to take this off to use the cordage, what you do is you use your fingernail and pull on this part right here, and everything comes loose and you can unravel, and at the end you just snap this piece of melted cordage. So that's basically it. Your neck knife is ready to use. You can make this as long as you like. Maybe this one is actually a little too long. I could make it a little shorter. No problem, just cut off a piece of paracord. Great grip. Really thin. You can wear it inside your shirt. No one will even know it's there. And it's really comfortable. Just take it off. Ready to use. Simple, cheap, and effective. Thanks for watching.